Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria. If you watch this video and you enjoy it, don't be shy. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel for more videos on narcissistic abuse recovery and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Today I'm going to be talking to my favorite people in the whole world, all the scapegoats out there, and I want to talk to you about why you may be feeling lonely lately. When we're talking about scapegoats, we're just talking about this role in narcissistic triangulation. So you have a narcissistic parent or a caretaker, they feel like everyone is an extension of them and not just an individual. So you have different roles of siblings. You may have a golden child sibling, you may have an invisible child sibling, and you may have a scapegoat. So I talk a lot about this topic on my channel, especially the scapegoats. So someone that's a scapegoat is going to be somebody that's not easily manipulated. They can see through the narcissist tactics. They know that something is off. They know it's not right, and they feel it in their physical body. They may be a truth teller, and they may find it hard to not be honest. They may verbalize that they're not being treated right, and a narcissist doesn't like being called out. So they get abused. They seem to be the one that gets the silent treatment or the emotional neglect from the parent. So when someone's a scapegoat as a child, they tend to grow up and get something called complex post-traumatic stress disorder from long-term emotional abuse. They went through it for so long. Their parent was emotionally abusive for such an extended amount of time that they develop symptoms like social anxiety and self-abandonment and this negative inner critic and emotional flashbacks. So when we are a scapegoat as a child, we develop stories about ourselves and we have these core wounds that I believe live in our inner child, and we just merely grow up around this child. One of the core wounds that a scapegoat may have is this wound of what's wrong with me. They tend to go out throughout their life searching for what's wrong with them, which is why a lot of scapegoats honestly get diagnosed with things like bipolar 2 disorder or whatever it may be, because they're constantly searching for what's wrong with me. Inside, they feel like there is something off, but a lot of times it's because of the complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's from the abuse. It's from the long-term emotional abuse. So as we're scapegoats and we grow into these adults, we create these narratives about ourselves, and a lot of times the parent is the beginning of that narrative. They may say that the child isn't good enough. They may put the child down and may say that they're stupid. They're not smart enough. The child may think, well, how can I trust people? If I can't trust my parent, then how am I going to trust people in the real world? And it creates this barrier between someone who is a scapegoat and the rest of the world. So where does this feeling of loneliness obviously come from? So the whole reason I made this video in the first place was because I heard someone say something the other day that just blew my mind. And basically they said that we don't feel lonely because we don't have anyone, right? Like, I know we have these barriers where we keep people out because we don't want them to touch our wound of abandonment or our wound of rejection. But there are billions of people in this world. It's not that we don't have anyone. The problem is that we don't feel like anyone has us. We don't feel like anyone has our back. And when I heard someone say that, they weren't even talking about people who were scapegoats. But when I started thinking about that and relating it to triangulation and the scapegoat community that we have created here, I started thinking, that's how we feel as scapegoats. Like no one has our back. And why? Why do we feel like that? And then I looked at, there are a lot of people who have gone through long-term emotional abuse or emotional neglect and gotten bullied and whatever, who had support. There was a parent or there was an adult in general who was there, who stood in the gap. They said, this isn't right what you're going through. They acknowledged it. They saw it. They didn't sweep it under the rug. They were there. They had support. Those people tend to not develop complex post-traumatic stress disorder as adults. But then there are those of us who went through it silently, and no one was there to validate our pain. So we went through the pain alone, and we didn't have that support. So we did develop the complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, that feeling of loneliness that you may be feeling, you may be carrying that because of that lack of support that you had as a child. It's hard to let people in to your life as an adult because of the fear of rejection, because of the fear of abandonment. But really, it's that fear of allowing someone to support you or get close enough to support you. But here's the good news. Wherever you are right now in your healing journey is where you need to be. There will be a time and a place in your life where you're gonna look back and you're gonna thank God for all of the pain that you went through, because it's all going to make sense. You're gonna have that peace in your life. You're going to have people around you that support you, that love you. But in order to get there, you have to be where you are right now first. It is crucial when someone is going through a healing journey to throw a timeline out the window. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to heal. The only people that fail at healing from narcissistic abuse are the people that quit on themselves. And you are not one of those people. As long as you stay the course and you continue to heal, you continue to practice being present, you continue to strip these false narratives, you continue to get to know who your core self is, you start forgiving others, and then you start forgiving yourself. And you start showing up in the world as your true and authentic self, without that shame. The people that are supposed to be in your life, they're gonna show up at your door, and they're gonna be there to support you. So let me be the first to tell you to hang in there, continue healing, and throw that timeline out the window, because you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't be shy, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and as always, my friends, I wish you all the love in the world.